What's going on everyone? Welcome to the channel and welcome back to another delicious recipe video. In this one we're going to be creating the most amazing creamy mustard chicken. It's rich, it's creamy, it's garlicky and tastes absolutely incredible. Please sit back, relax and enjoy. Alright guys, let's start this off by slicing the end off of one brown onion and slicing it in half through the root, to which we can then peel off the skin and save the skin for a stock. We then want to thinly slice the onions, stopping just before the root. Slice the onion in half, again stopping at the root, then come through and finally dice the onion. Make sure to trim off any excess flesh from around the root to avoid wastage, and we can then save the roots for a stock. Grab yourself 5 grams of fresh flat leaf parsley, scrunch it up into a nice tight bunch to make it easier to work with. Then with a nice sharp knife, give the parsley a good old rough chop, which doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure there's no large leaves. Next, with 4 grams or 5 sprigs of fresh thyme, we're going to do the same thing by giving it a good old rough chop, and because the thyme leaves are very small, this doesn't need much of a chop, but just make sure to remove any large woody stems. Then with 5 large cloves of garlic, all we want to do is grate each clove on a microplane or grater on the finest side until it resembles a paste, which is also known as minced. Also, if you don't own a microplane or a grater, this can be either finely sliced or diced. And to finish the prep, we're going to need 200 grams of streaky bacon, to which we're going to slice into medium-sized strips. Rotate the bacon strips 90 degrees, and then dice it into medium-sized pieces. To cook this, place a large heavy base pot or skillet onto your stovetop over a medium to high heat, and once hot, pour in 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters of olive or vegetable oil. To this, we're going to carefully place in 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of chicken thighs flat side down, and sear them for 7 minutes, and you may have to do this in batches depending on the size of your pot or pan. After 7 minutes and you have a really nice golden colour onto the thighs and they're also slightly crispy, flip them over and repeat the process for another 7 minutes. Also, when you flip them over, season them with 1 teaspoon of sea salt flakes and 1 teaspoon or 10 cracks of black pepper. After 7 minutes on both sides and the chicken is golden and cooked through, we can remove the chicken from the pot or pan and place it into a bowl to rest, and repeat with the rest of the chicken if you're going to do this in batches. Now to the same pot, pour in another 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters of olive or vegetable oil and add in the diced bacon. We want to then fry the bacon off for 3 to 4 minutes, just until it's nice and crispy or done to your desired bacon doneness, if that's even a saying. Once the bacon is nice and crispy or done to your liking, we then want to scoop it out with a slotted spoon or spider and place it into a bowl, leaving the bacon fat behind in the pot or pan. Once the bacon's been removed, add in 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of clarified unsalted butter and allow it to melt. Tip in the diced onions and saute them off for 3 to 4 minutes or until golden and translucent, stirring them frequently. And also, don't worry about the colour on the bottom of the pot or pan, that's all additional flavour, just as long as it's not black, which will mean you have the pot or pan on too high of a heat. Anyway, once the onions are golden, add in the chopped parsley, the chopped thyme, the minced, diced or sliced garlic, and continue sauteing for 15 seconds, stirring the whole time. After 15 seconds, very carefully pour in 80 milliliters of white wine, vegetable or chicken stock, which will deglaze the pot or pan, pulling up all of that flavour stuck at the bottom, and reduce this for 1 minute, stirring the whole time. You'll also notice now that this will have a deep golden colour, which is extremely tasty and exactly what we want. After 1 minute, pour in 500 milliliters of thickened cream, as well as 2.5 tablespoons or 60 grams of Dijon mustard. Give that all a really good mix and bring the sauce to a simmer. Once simmering, grate in half a cup or 50 grams of fresh Parmesan cheese. Then mix that through, and I do have to apologise for the brightness of this next part as I'm still learning the new camera, so please forgive me. Once the cheese is melted into the sauce, we're going to season the sauce with 1 teaspoon of sea salt flakes and 1 teaspoon or 10 cracks of black pepper. Mix that through, turn the heat down to low, and allow the sauce to simmer away for 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, you'll notice the sauce is really starting to thicken up and the colour is becoming nice and golden. We can then add our cooked chicken thighs back into the sauce, as well as any juices that have accumulated. We're also going to add in that diced crispy bacon. Then give all of this a really good mix, making sure that the bacon is evenly distributed and the chicken is completely coated in that deliciously rich sauce, and continue simmering the sauce for another 6 minutes or until well reduced and thick. Once reduced, chuck in 80 grams or 2 cups worth of baby spinach and mix that through till it's wilted, being careful not to break that soft and juicy chicken. Then once the spinach is wilted, we can turn the heat off and remove it from the stovetop. Add those juicy chicken thighs into a serving bowl, with 3 of them being a decent serving size. Pour over that amazingly delicious and rich sauce. Grate over some fresh Parmesan cheese, which is optional, but I do highly recommend it. Crack over some black pepper, which is also optional. Garnish it with some nice looking flat leaf parsley, and we can then dig in. The flavour in that sauce is seriously so good. It's rich and creamy with the perfect balance of mustard. The chicken is melt in your mouth tender, and everything about this dish makes you want to go back for more. This can be eaten on its own, or you can serve it with rice, pasta, vegetables, and even a salad. This recipe here makes 4 decent sized portions, and to store it, we can chuck it in the fridge for up to 5 days, or you can put it in the freezer in an airtight container for up to 4 months. To reheat it, you can either place it in a microwave and heat it up in bursts, or you can chuck it in a pan on a medium-low heat and slowly heat it up that way. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I was able to teach you something. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and consider subscribing to see hundreds of more fantastic recipes. Thanks for watching everyone, stay safe and enjoy.